Good evening and welcome to tonight's special Leah's 40th birthday episode of Ask Leah. Now I will confess, I'm not recording this on my birthday. Hopefully, even though we are in lockdown here in Victoria, while you're watching this, I am celebrating my birthday in some crazy at-home style. However, I didn't want to pass up the opportunity to speak with you tonight because I wanted to remind you of a concept that I spoke about last year when we were in the midst of lockdown, and I've been drawing on a lot myself again over the last week, and that concept is the Stockdale Paradox. For those who have forgotten, James Stockdale was the highest ranking US official or officer who was captured during the Vietnam War and imprisoned in the Hanoi Hilton for almost 8 years. He was tortured repeatedly, never knew if he was going to get out or survive. Now, in his classic business book, From Good to Great, Jim Collins interviewed James Stockdale and he said, "How were you so resilient under so much pressure for so long?" And James Stockdale said this: "I never lost faith in the end of the story. I never lost sight of the fact I would get through this and I would prevail." So he held on to his optimism. But then critically, Stockdale went on to say this, and I'll read it so that I get it right. "You must never confuse the faith that you will prevail in the end, which you can never afford to lose, with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality, whatever they may be." And Jim Collins went on to call this the Stockdale Paradox. The need to, under pressure, if we want to be resilient, we have to hang on to that optimism. We're going to be okay. But at the same time, we have to be willing to front up to the brutal facts of our reality so that we can steel ourselves to get through. Now, crucially, Stockdale was asked who didn't make it through the war. And when I'm talking and presenting to groups on this is what often surprises people, because Stockdale replied, "Oh, that's easy. The optimists. The optimists didn't survive." Now, when we hear that, a lot of people say, "But I thought a positive attitude was what I was meant to have now." But here's what Stockdale said: the toxic optimists, or the toxically positive people who, just dismiss any criticism, no negativity, every day's a good day, it's all going to end tomorrow. Unfortunately, they pinned their hopes on something that turned out to be unrealistic. And then they were absolutely deflated and defeated when that didn't come to pass. So they thought the war would finish on Saturday. It didn't, and then they would crash and lose all hope. Now, last year, when that second lockdown got extended by a couple of days, I spoke to a woman who realised that her positivity had actually held her back. She said, "You know what, you've just summed me up, Leah. I was so fixated on lockdown's going to end, it's all going to be fine, we're going to be celebrating again." And she said, "I pinned everything on that. And then when they extended it, even by such a short time, I just fell in a heap." The reason I share that is because Victorians, we are in this position again. No matter what your thoughts are, what your politics, whatever theory you have, the reality is we are here right now. And I want us to be okay through this. We will be okay. But we do have to balance optimism and realism. I certainly didn't want to be doing remote learning again. I don't think anyone probably did. However, that's the situation we find ourselves in. Do I hope it finishes really soon? And maybe by the time you're watching this, we already know if it is or not. Sure, we can hope for that. But I am absolutely prepared that this is going to be a bit of a longer haul again. And it's not what I want, but I will deal with it if it happens. Balancing optimism with realism, hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. Not to be negative, but so that we can be okay and be resilient through this current challenge. Good luck, everyone. I know it is a really tough time, but please have a celebratory drink for me tonight, or whatever way you celebrate, And here's to an incredible 40th year for me and an incredible year for you as well. Cheers.